So, if you're anything like me, your social media feed is probably blowing up with advertisements for Skool.com, Skool. And you may be wondering, what the heck is this thing? I was curious. I'd actually tried Skool before, but I was curious as to why there was such an influx. Well, Alex Hormozy, if you don't know him, go Google him, look him up. He's blowing up everywhere. He just launched a new book and he sent a tsunami of followers over to Skool.com. And so, what I want to do today is I just want to kind of walk you through my experience with Skool. I just signed up 3 days ago and I'm trying out the system, and so far I'm kind of liking what I see, but I want you to formulate your own opinion. And so I'm giving you kind of a sneak peek behind the curtain, and I'll just kind of walk you through what I see and give you my opinions on it. And at the end of the day, you can decide whether you like it or not. So let's jump right in. I'm going to share my screen here. So Skool.com, really neat. So when you first sign up, you will get onto a community page called Skoolers. And essentially what this community page is it's everyone that's signed up for Skool. And what you have to keep in mind is that Skool is a community of essentially entrepreneurs that are highly interested in making community pages that they either already have or will monetize. So they're going to charge for courses or coaching, or maybe they just really want a super engaged community, and having a website that has this robust system behind a little bit of a paywall filters out those that are just hobbyists. So it's kind of a cool concept. I will say when you first join Skool, it's a little overwhelming. There's a lot to know, and there's a lot of places where you can click. And so kind of what I want to do is just walk you through the experience. When you first sign up, you'll be on Skoolers. You'll have a welcome start here, which is super duper helpful, a 60-second intro vid, find a post you like, and leave a comment. Notice that it doesn't say make a post. You can't even make a post when you first join Skool, because you first have to engage with other people's posts. That's how you will unlock the eligibility to be able to post things for yourself. And then download the app. Once you're in there, you'll be able to see a whole bunch of posts. They have a news feed that they release once a week. Here's the latest updates with Skool. Here's how do you build your community. Very, very helpful information on how to build communities, how to increase engagement, how to grow your audience, and how to make sure that it feels organic and natural, and how to make sure to engage with people. One of their big sayings is that this should feel more like a party than a lecture. So this isn't about you being an authority figure and a talking head and everybody has to listen to you. It's more of a, hey, this is a community of like-minded people that are really interested in crocheting. They're interested in artificial intelligence and leveraging those things for business. They're interested in reducing churn in their business. They're interested in launching a container store. They're interested in spirituality and growth and personal development. They're interested in arts and crafts. They even have like a crocheting community that apparently is doing very, very well for itself. So what you'll see is this is kind of like your typical news feed or feed that you would see on most social media platforms. So people post on there that are part of this community. And typically what they're posting is really good content that is about how to grow in this community. So that's the really cool thing, is that the focus and attention really more so, instead of just a whole bunch of fluff and here's pictures of my cat, it's more geared toward, hey, how do I grow my community? How do I engage with people? How do I create value for others? So you even have a video here that's pinned at the top of this guy that just won the Skool games, and he's making $300,000 a month. And he essentially pulls back the curtain. There is no gatekeeping here at Skool, which is super amazing. No gatekeeping, as in they just let you know, hey, here's my step-by-step processes. Here's how I did it. Everybody's really interested in helping everyone else grow and succeed. So there's no scarcity mentality. There's more of a mentality that there's more than enough to go around. So that is super fascinating. So this is one of them. He really goes through the step-by-step of how he won the games. And so essentially everyone grows for it. So this is your community tab. Next, you have your classroom tab. This is where you can take School 101, which I thought was super duper helpful. Again, I only signed up a few days ago, so I'm not done with it. But essentially, understanding the big picture, how to use the course, how to find a topic for yourself. So you don't actually have to have a topic that you're interested in sharing with the world just yet. You can be kind of a peruser and a community member. Maybe there's a community that you want to be a part of. One of the communities that I'm really interested in joining up in the near future is the School of Hard Knocks. It's this guy that goes around interviewing millionaires and billionaires and asking them how they became successful and to give wisdom to the next generation of how they can do the same, which is a topic that I'm really fascinated by. Anyway, so School 101 is, hey, how do I grow my audience? How do I engage with people? How do I retain people? How do I manage expectations? What are some inspiring examples? So far, the way that the classroom has been set up is super engaging. These guys are actually really professionals at their craft. They do a good job of keeping these videos pretty short, 40 minutes or less, and really engaging, really informative without being boring. So I thought that was really cool. Then there's other things. You can check out school news, the school games, 100 million money models, and how to leverage that here on Skool. So the book that Alex Hormozi launched, I believe retails for like $29.99. But if you're a member of the Skool community, you will get access to 100 million money models. I don't know if that was only an incentive for those who signed up while he was doing the book launch or not. So don't hold me to it if you sign up and you don't have that. I apologize. So I want to just be clear. Again, I'm still kind of figuring out how this thing works. Next is the calendar tab. In the calendar tab, this is where, if this is your community, you can schedule one-on-one calls or schedule a coffee hour or news updates and things like that. You can put that on the calendar so that way your community members can stay informed. Since we're looking at the schoolers calendar, it's just the school news that launches every week at 1 o'clock. Next is the members tab. You see 172,045 members. Online, even here at 10 o'clock at night Eastern time, there's 1,834 online, and you can explore different members. There's maps. Map is an interesting concept that Skool brings to the table. This is where you can actually see where people are located. The pins are off by about 10 plus miles for privacy, so you don't have to worry about somebody stalking you, but you can actually start to engage with people that are in your community. So I'm in Central Florida, and I can zoom into Central Florida and start to see, like, hey, who are the in real life people that I can meet up with and say, hey, how's your school community? How's that going? What is it that you're doing that's working? What's not working? And so that's actually a really cool thing. And so you could essentially travel almost anywhere in the world and potentially meet up with somebody from Skool, which is kind of a neat and novel concept. So instead of just pushing online, they actually want to push in-person engagement, really create true community. Then there is the school games, and this is what most people are interested in. Essentially, the school games is a reward and incentivization. Yeah, I don't know if I pronounced that right or not. An incentivized program or game that promotes or rewards growth. So the more that you're growing your community, the better you've monetized it, which they do have parameters where the ranking system is capped at $100. So if you charge $1,000 per member or per month, then your ranking is still only based up to that first $100. So that's kind of cool. It kind of levels out the playing field a little bit. But yeah, this is where the games are. Once a quarter, they announce the Skool.com winners, and they get to fly out and visit the headquarters in LA and do a mastermind and essentially, talk shop. Like, hey, how do I grow this thing? How do I increase revenues? You can see that there's some people that are making some serious money as some of these top categories here. You got people that are making just ridiculous amount of monthly recurring revenue. This guy, whoever this is making $357,000 a month. So There's definitely opportunity here. Now, of course, when you're looking at the top five, you're looking at, the top of the top. And so there's a lot of competition, but it's not that it's unheard of. It depends on how engaged you are with your community and how well you're able to grow it. So kind of a really neat novel concept. Next is the merch. Self-explanatory. You can buy merch for school. Why would you buy merch for school? Well, if you're walking around in a school shirt or a school hat, or you see somebody with it, that's a clear signal like, hey, you're part of this. Hey, let's talk. Let's get together. So they're trying to really, again, create that community both online as well as in real life. Finally, the About page. And this is actually where most people will start their journey at first if they're checking out your page, if you decide to join and have one. So you want a really strong About page here. So some sort of description, what's this club about? And you can use ChatGPT to come up with your description. Obviously, you just want it to be something that you're interested in and that you think that others would be interested in. So that's kind of Skool.com in a nutshell. We also have my page, my personal page, Purpose and Value. Like I said, I'm not even done setting up. I've only invited a few people to it as I'm kind of beta testing some things and trying to figure things out and how they work. So don't judge me. I just got started. So my page is essentially, I'm seeking to create a community for people who want to grow in who they are and whose they are, as well as figure out ways that they can take their skills, their talents, their giftings, and bring those things to market, to monetize those things without selling their soul in the process. So first and foremost, focused on identity, who you are and whose you are, and then secondly, creating value out there in the marketplace in such a way that still feels integrated and whole and good and aligned with your God-given calling and talents, so that way you're serving God and not money. So this is my page. I haven't created any classroom, any courses yet. Haven't done anything on the events page. I have a few members. Most of my members are here local. And then my About kind of gives you a quick description, like who I am and a little bit of the backstory, which I may change that up at some point. So this is an iterative process, which is really, really cool. They really emphasize the fact that, like, hey, the more that you engage with the platform, the more that you engage with people on the platform, you can refine and tweak. So you're not locked into keeping your page a certain type of way. You can launch another page, or you can just, change your page as you see that people want certain things, and you can meet those needs and you'll be rewarded for meeting those needs. So my community is a free community. I'm not planning on monetizing it anytime soon, unless the Lord just absolutely blesses things and I need to start to take time away from my work or from my family in order to pay more attention to it. But until then, it's a free page. So if you know of anybody that sounds like they're looking for that, people that want to grow in their identity and understand how they can monetize those things, bring their skills to market in such a way that is God honoring, and they're not selling their soul in the process, I would super appreciate you giving this a like, give me a comment. I'll send you a link, and I'll probably link this in my bio and put it somewhere on this video. So in terms of my opinion of Skool, how do I feel about it and what am I thinking? So far, I really like it. So far, I did try it a while ago, like close to a year ago, and I was overwhelmed. That may have been due to lack of confidence, or it just may have not been the right time and the right place. But now that I've kind of doubled down and I want to take it seriously, I'm exploring the page. I'm seeking to learn before I earn and help and give out as much for free as possible before I monetize. I'm starting to kind of like this thing. So it's kind of neat in that regard, in that sense. Now, it's still early. We're only 3 days into the exploration with Skool.com. So I'll probably create some update videos from time to time and just say, like, hey, here's how things are going. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. One thing that I think I forgot to mention early was that they're really focused on people not being some authority figure this isn't a place where you just go to listen to a whole bunch of lectures and TED Talks. There's other great platforms that do that really, really well. If that's what you're looking for, you should check those out. But this is really a community-based platform that is a whole bunch of people getting together over passions. And then, yes, there are experts, but it ends up being community experts, which is really, really cool because it's not one central figure. Yes, it may be one person that's their channel and that's their community, and they get the lion's share of the revenue, but you also get the benefit of a whole bunch of other people joining in and being able to share their collective wisdom. So far, I'm sold. I'm on the basic plan. Oh, I forgot to share one thing, kind of important. Let me go back to the share screen. Totally almost forgot this. So here in your settings, nope, not that. Here we go. In settings, this is where you can look at your dashboard, see how many paid members you have, how much your monthly recurring revenue is, how much churn you have, page visits, signups, conversion rate, all that stuff. Pretty helpful analytics. Then you have your invite page. You'll have a unique URL that you can invite people to. And next is your general. You want to have a good cover photo and an icon, group name, and a brief group description. This is the part that I wanted to talk about. You can go to billing and you can go to change your plan, or you can go to change URL. And in my case, because I'm on the hobby plan, the change URL gives me the option to upgrade to pro. So with pro, you get unlimited admins, a much lower transaction fee, which obviously they're pushing for that. So if you do run a paid community that's behind a paywall, in order to join, you have to pay, X amount, $9 a month, $1 a month, $30 a month, $1,000 a month, depending on what level of value that you're creating for your community. Then you're probably going to want to switch over to Pro for way more amenable transaction fees. Then you can enable plugins and affiliates, some URL, and hide suggested communities. So that's kind of the goal. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is affiliates. So once you grow your community to like about 100, then it unlocks the affiliates program where you can actually incentivize your community members to invite more community members, other people that they believe would be a good fit for this community. Hey, I'm part of this really cool community called Purpose and Value on Skool. I think that you'd be a great fit. Here's a link. Check it out. And if they join, then you can reward your members for referring their friends and giving commissions, which is really cool from a couple different standpoints. Number one, everybody wins, right? And so they even say 40% is the most effective reward rate for your members. So they're not trying to skimp people. So everybody wins in that aspect. And then secondly, that's going to increase your retention, because if I'm referring somebody to your community and I'm waiting for that commission to occur, then I'm going to stick around for longer. And I'm probably not referring people to your community unless I actually really do like that community. So yeah, that was the other thing that I wanted to share. There's a couple different plans that you can go with, and there's pros and cons to both. The hobby plan I think is only like $9 a month. The pro plan is $99 a month. So kind of a cool platform so far. I'm in, but let me know what you think down below. Give me a comment. Let me know what you think about it. Hopefully this peek behind the curtain gave you a pretty good sense of what it is, what it's about, what it's not about. And maybe you're like, nah, this totally isn't for me. Or, wow, yeah, I've been looking for something that's for not just, people that are interested in hobbies, but actually serious community members over, whitewater river rafting or painting or crocheting or whatever it is that your hobby, talent, passion, or wisdom may be inclined toward. So I hope this helps. Like I said, ask me anything. Put your comments down below. I'm still exploring the page. I'd love to answer any of the questions that I possibly can. Continue to post video updates from time to time and just let you know, like, yeah, man, this is great, or man, this really isn't working out. There's better platforms. There are other platforms besides Skool. I'm not super familiar with them, but I've heard of platforms like Kajabi and Circle, and that they have different transaction rates, but they're also at different pricing. So the really cool thing is that this one seems to have a massive amount of following and traffic heading in its direction. So this may be the new TikTok, right? So every iteration, you want to be on the forefront of that new frontier. So maybe this is it for you, maybe not. Let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to send you a link to Purpose and Value if that's something that you're interested in. Or if you know somebody that's interested in it, please shoot me a comment and say, hey, I'm in, or I'd love to know more. And I'll make sure to DM you with my direct link to Purpose and Value. So hope this helps you a ton and helped you make a more informed decision.